Welcome back to the Torch and Key Apothecary. We're doing a short reading here for the day ahead. And although this is coming out on Monday, take this for whenever you're seeing it. And if it doesn't resonate, or if parts of it don't feel like they fit, give yourself the grace and the space to come back to this video at any time and to reevaluate, to reflect on some of the themes here. But because it is a general reading, don't feel like you have to make everything fit. If it doesn't fit, leave it for someone else. So we're starting here with our energy today, which is the energy of the Page of Pentacles. So for many of you, today might be the embodiment of sitting with a good book and just maybe daydreaming about a world of possibilities. But because this card is all about the physical, pentacles, or tomes in this case, are all about your physical health, wealth, and abundance, your resources, I think that you have been given an opportunity or are seeing an opportunity, and you're thinking, what can I do with this? How can I use this thing? Or maybe you're finding opportunities. You're doing the research on what is around you. Now, we're moving in this energy as the king or the mystic of of swords or bells. This is all about the mind and thoughts. I love this depiction of the mystic of bells because they are depicted as someone in a wheelchair. Now, I love this because the mystic of bells is the embodiment of their suit. It is the embodiment of the mind. And they have used their mind to overcome any limitations that being in a wheelchair might bring. They have found a way through or above, so they know that it is not impossible to achieve. And I think that's how we're showing up. Even against all odds, we know that there is a way. We just have to find it. And oftentimes that means overcoming the limitations that we set in our minds. Being very clear and direct with our intentions. Being a leader who does not get bogged down in the emotions of I can't or it's impossible. So I really like that for us, especially if you're seeing this on a Monday. You probably know that energetically, for those who work or just have school, anything that starts on a Monday, it feels like it's a slog, right? It feels very heavy. And remember that oftentimes those are limitations that we set for ourselves in our own minds. So I would just be mindful of that. What landscape are you painting in your mind? Because that's going to determine the resources that you see and have available to you. Now, for the day itself, we have the Knight of Cups, or the Explorer of Vials. And the cups are all emotional cards. This is the land of emotion, of heart, of feeling, and of connection with others. And the Knights, or the Explorers in this case, are all messengers. They are all bringing messages, things that you need to know. So something is showing up today. And specifically the Knight of Cups is a very romantic, very daydreamy knight. They are the embodiment of the mosey, of the cloud watchers, of the frolicking through a field mentality. And I think what we're being asked to do here is to romanticize our lives a little bit. I know that oftentimes in traditional tarot, the Knight of Cups speaks to a love offer coming in. And if that resonates, absolutely do that. But remember, in our readings here, we don't necessarily do love readings. This is all about you, how you are reflecting in the world. And I think, if anything, this is asking for you to maybe deepen your friendships, be around and be in community that supports you. because that's being shown with the Three of Cups here. The Three of Cups is a celebratory card. It's being lifted up in community with others. It's joy. It's dancing. So, like I said earlier, for our energy, I wouldn't get bogged down with the picture you're painting in your mind. I would romanticize it right now. See if you can paint yourself into a better reality. Play pretend a little bit. Pretend it is the best case scenario for whatever your situation is, and then act accordingly. It can be in small things, but just be in that state of noticing how your nervous system and your brain react to pretending that, I shouldn't even say pretending because I don't like that word. We're not gaslighting ourselves into having everything be okay, and for a lot of us, things aren't okay, and I want to hold space for that. But as much as you can, and as safely as you can do it, romanticize your life. Take up space for your own emotions right now. Now, this is going to be an interesting morning because we have the numinous showing up here for the energy of the beginning of our day. Now, this is the numinous tarot. So this is the 79th card, whereas a typical tarot deck will have 78. And this comes after the world card. So the purpose of the numinous is to encompass something greater than ourselves, something awe-inspiring, almost like a higher calling, almost like the judgment card. It feels like the judgment card plus the world card. You're being called to something more. Maybe you finally see it there in the distance. And I say that because we also have the Three of Candles, which is about looking out to the horizon and perhaps seeing something coming in. Something you have hoped for is coming in. And I feel like it's feeling closer than ever. Maybe it felt far away before, but suddenly I feel like you're going to blink or turn around and it's there. You see the possibility. You see like the real physical, tangible proof that you can do the thing. And I think you're ready to take off on this adventure. Now we have the Dreamer of Candles. So this is the page. So we've got 2 pages coming out now. So pages are all about possibilities. So we have the Page of Wands, who they explore the possibilities that come with passion and drive. Whatever you are driven to do, passionate about, they are like that inner fire, that get up and go. So I think you are fiery about something. I think that whatever happens here in the morning is going to spark you to think, I can do this. Bravery is coming out with this. I think you're showing yourself how you can be brave, even if it's just in small actions right now. And we're showing up in this energy with the Death card. Now, death in the tarot is nothing to be afraid of, ever. Because again, if we approach an ending, because this is all about endings and new beginnings, if we approach these endings with fear, our bodies, our nervous systems, our brains, they're going to respond in kind. They're going to see that fear, and it's not going to be any different than a tiger chasing you, according to your nervous system. So I would take that anxiety over an ending today, and I would push it towards excitement. Because the feeling, your body doesn't know the difference between excitement and anxiety. So what you have to do, and this is where the gaslighting comes in, you have to gaslight your nervous system into thinking, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this new beginning. And even, again, this is where the pretend comes in, because you can pretend even if you don't feel this way. I would pretend that you are excited for this ending and new beginning. Tell your brain it's new possibilities coming in, and just see and feel into where that lives in your body. See how it changes. I'm getting some tingles up the arms so that it feels good here. Although safety above all. And I would highly recommend, I'm not a therapist or a doctor. Speak to your therapist if you have one. Seek one out if that's available to do this work with them, because they are a trained professional. I'm just a lady with a tarot deck. But we're going to move on to the evening time now, because you are getting this higher calling. Let me lift it up here. This is the Visionary. Now, this is the Hierophant in a typical tarot deck, but I like this one because the Hierophant is traditionally those like set in stone values, how things have always been done. Oftentimes it's seen as like more like a set in stone spiritual path or religion. But I like this here because I think you are in tune. It doesn't have to be. Oftentimes it is not religion itself, but it is a path that you feel confident about now. Again, you see this path here and you know you're being called to it. And I think you're ready to walk it. Whatever you're doing in this afternoon, to be brave and move forward. However you are romanticizing your life today, I really think that is spirit, that is your guides, your ancestors, whoever you're working with. That is them nudging you in this direction. And I think you really do feel confident about this now. I think you're seeing something clearly with this King of Swords. Now, we're showing up in this energy as the Five of Bells. This is all about, oftentimes it's winning at all costs. I would not caution you, but I would remind you that the fives in tarot are all challenge cards. They are testing your merit. They are testing to see if you have learned up until here, have you learned this suit? Have you learned some lesson that this is trying to teach you? And they are temporary moments. So if there is a setback, if there is some disappointment, if there is some white noise, I think that you're quieting your mind now. You are perfectly peaceful. You understand exactly the lesson that you are learning, and you understand that you can pass it perfectly fine. I would walk away from something. Like if you have someone who is, I almost want to say bragging or winning, but like almost being like a sore winner, if that makes sense. I wouldn't even let them into your sphere here. See this circle around your head? That is your piece. That is your bubble. That is your self. And these bubbles here, these are all other people's opinions. These are all other people's thoughts. This is their white noise to deal with. And other people can be very loud. So when and where you can, I really would find some peace in the evening time. Because no one else is walking your path but you. They're still too busy kind of argue. It's almost giving the Five of Wands, even though it's the Five of Swords. But I hope this makes sense for somebody. Now, for the sake of time, let's hop up here to the advice. Because we're getting the Four of Swords. Not the Four of Swords, I'm sorry. The Four of Tomes. This is the Four of Pentacles. Now, this can be taken one of two ways. Either it can say, hey, be frugal, get all of your ducks in a row, and, make a plan. Don't go spending everything everywhere. But in our case, I think that we have something behind glass. I think we have resources that we are holding on to tightly too. And again, this is often from a place of fear, saying we don't have enough, or if we open this cabinet up and share these physical resources with others, that we won't have them for ourselves. And oftentimes this leads to the Five of Pentacles, which is being out in the cold. But that's also followed by the Six of Pentacles, which is reciprocity. It is giving and taking. So I would maybe open up a little bit more. I really would not lead with fear here. Of course, be responsible with the resources you have, but also be aware that more resources are around you than you have here. I think you're playing small here. Because how we're moving in this Four of Pentacles energy, for the advice at least, is the Lovers. And I love this depiction of the Lovers because it doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This, at its core, is all about the choices that resonate with love for you. What do you feel good about? What do you feel called to give? How do you feel called to spend your resources? Make the choices that resonate with love for you. Be in community with people that you love and lift them up, and trust that they'll lift you up also. Which, again, is here in the energy of the day. Being in community with other people who maybe have other resources that you don't. More than just one author has contributed their tomes here in the library. Don't be afraid to ask other people for help today. Maybe they have resources that can get you up this mountain faster or easier. It doesn't have to be a slog. So I like this energy for us today. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Let us know how this is landing for you. Go ahead and interact with this video in ways that you're called to do so. That could be liking, commenting, sharing, because chances are other people need to hear this message also. We're trying to get these messages out to as many people as possible and in as many formats as possible. And especially if you are seeing this at the beginning of the week, I really encourage you to just give yourself some grace. Give yourself some softness, some levity, and just trust that it's going to be okay. All right? It's going to be okay. So I will see everybody in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I'll see you later.